Hello, this is a game between Maxim, who took white, and Robert, who took black. Very educative game. It starts with Taisha Joseki, and then black plays this old variation. Actually, this is not really recommended. It's better for white. Correct move is here. I mean, that one is also fine, but a bit better for white. And well, this leads to a very, very complex variation. But if we want to avoid complex variations, then it's better to choose something different. The easiest way is here and here. This is actually a normal way of playing it out, and very, very simple. And what other variations are there? If white blocks, then of course we go out. And well, this doesn't look good for white. Maybe an interesting question is what happens if white plays this move now, but I think that black can simply play here, and here also looks good for black, and I don't think white can cut, for sure no, because you know, this is simple by Tewari technique. It is like as if this happened, and then instead of blocking the corner, white played on the outside. This should lead to a much better fight for black. So yeah, if you want to avoid complications, simply play this very strange Nobi, and you are on the safe side. But in the game, it goes like this, and then black has two options. Either play like this and capture white in the ladder, or just capture white in the ladder, but then white will not play here. White can play Atari and this one. So this is how white should play it. But in the game, white simply captures. Maybe it's understandable because white counts on getting a ladder breaker. But now the simple thing to do for black is, of course, not play this move, but to capture the stone. And for sure, this is better for black than this. So if it goes like this, it's more or less even result, because white played a bit slow instead of pushing here. And for black, well, basically it's recommended to capture such a stone immediately. One explanation for that is that if we don't do it immediately, later we can forget. But a more proper explanation is that even if we don't forget, if we remember, in the future there might be annoying ladder breakers. I don't know, maybe such a move. So maybe better to clear the situation, and later white won't have any ladder breakers. Anyway, quite soon we will need to play it. But in the game, black forgot about the ladder, and now white goes out. So this is quite funny. And now the game becomes better for white. And I think that white got too happy after going out with this ladder, because of course the game gets better for white. White is ahead by a few points, but from now on, white only played in a way which gave away this advantage. Yeah, I could be mean. I believe that Maxim will not be angry at me, but a funny way to put this is that white was so satisfied by himself, by getting out of the ladder, spotting this Tsuji, that now the ladder can run out, that later white thought, anything I play, I should win the game. But in fact, this extension from the ladder was the last good move which white played in this game. So black tries to somehow negotiate, get something on the outside. Yeah, it's all right, but of course white is happy by capturing so much. And now the key point is here. Very important to get this spot. If white doesn't get it, then the block of black not only blocks the side, but also has a very good continuation in center, a lot of points, and it also strengthens these stones of black. So, well, if white gets the move by himself, then very likely black will be forced to answer. But white chooses a sharper variation, go out like this and split black, also good actually. Attack black, put pressure, and well, white should have just extended, black would probably answer, and then we can finally take this very important spot. But in the game, white did something not understandable. White cuts and plays here, and all right, still this move for white is sente if black doesn't answer, or like sente-ish. If black doesn't answer, then white can capture black stones. So maybe we can hope that black now adds a move, or well, probably push first and then add a move like this. Fine, but why did white play these exchanges first? These exchanges only harmed white's corner a lot, and still white loses this capturing race between these groups. So only then white plays this extension after losing already quite a lot of points, and now black lives on a big scale, and white's shape is really not ideal. There is 1 cutting point, second, third, 3 cutting points. The only good thing is that white ends up in center and has time to play this important move. Okay, and then plays again. This is already not necessarily needed because black's move is not center. And even it has this weak spot a little bit, but anyway, like black is not going to play it, so this exchange was already not needed. Then white approaches, and black very smartly chooses a pincer. So in fact, if I were white, I would probably play on the side because the corner would be still open. But if it goes like this, white's stone is a bit thin. And now white jumps into the corner, but I don't like this Joseki choice of white. It gives black so much influence, and white gets points on a very boring side. Soon white will connect 2 alive groups, and there is no potential for any expansion in this area. Black gets this push for free. It doesn't harm black at all, because black is not any concerned by strengthening white even more in this area. But now black really builds a moyo. So instead, if I were white, I would certainly play from this stone. Maybe even something like this. I think it's better because it doesn't give black such a moyo, though this is annoying. Yeah, I think that this Joseki choice gives a good direction to black. But this move was not needed. Black has already so many stones. It's much better to start an attack like this, and if white goes out, we can simply connect, no problem, or even connect underneath. We are strong enough to play this fight. And now where should white play? So maybe white is still satisfied after the initial running with the ladder, but it's already not such a great position for white. And if we play a bad direction now, the game might become very good for black, because black has these walls and black has a potential for building a great moyo. So where is the correct direction? Here, certainly. No wonder about that. This is the proper move. It reduces black's potential and builds a nice shape for our group. This is quite obviously the correct spot. But in the game, white goes into the corner. And we need to be aware that after the attachment, black has a way to split us and get the outside influence. And it seems that it works especially well with black's overall position, to split us like this. So basically, when our opponent is building a moyo, it's not really recommended to play the attachment because of this risk that the opponent goes through and cut off our stone. It's better to jump in such situations, or I don't know, play here, or even play that move, the old school, and then extend. Though I think that on this board, black might play from the outside, but well, then this is better than what we have in the game. Yeah, simply play this Keima. But the best would be simply to go out like this, or like this. This is the correct direction of play, and that's all. In the game, black takes the correct direction, and now white needs to somehow reduce black's moyo. And how do we do it? I think that I would recommend, I don't know, something around here. Later we will activate these stones, but in fact it's not very important because black is rather safe on both sides. it's good that it's there, the possibility to cut the black, to somehow maybe use the stones which we already have, but rather we need to take care of reducing black's big potential in the center. So yeah, maybe here. In the game, white plays this attachment, but you know, after the attachment, the opponent has always the freedom to choose the direction of play. And here it seems that black chose a good direction of play because black played from the outside and the white was in trouble on the inside. Yeah. So yeah, this is a difficult situation for white already. But I would play from this stone. Somehow try to fight like this. I don't know how. In the game, yeah, white plays the outside move, but then on the inside, white has very little space. And it seems that white is going to die. And this is a tragedy, a catastrophe for white. But, well, it seems that we are about to die. Maybe we can make somehow make life. We need to read it. If we can, then we should probably go for it. But not sure if we can. And even if we can, black might be satisfied with the overall result. But other than that, we also have an option, which I would probably go for in such position, which is to die like a man. We might die here, but if we enclose black and we manage to create a Samedori, it might be acceptable for white. We can get a lot of points in the corner and maybe also in the center, and black gets not so many because black needs to take our liberties before we are completely dead. Well, the proper way for black would be probably to somehow go out, but then at least we can somehow fight. But in the game, white chooses yet another variation. White plays this attachment and tries to desperately connect. But this gives such a bad shape to white. Well, it's a ko. And white has no big threats to this ko. So white plays this threat, but this is not a big threat at all. Black can capture, white play here, black simply lives. Okay, white captures back. But I think that this threat might be big enough for black. Or maybe better to simply play like this and capture here. And this is not big at all. This is like, I don't know, 20 points. But in fact, black shouldn't even make life with such a peaceful move. Black can first split white's shapes on the outside. And this is a very difficult fight for black, and only then when we need, we make life, and before we make these very good exchanges on the outside. Well, at least there is a ko, so there is some hope for white. If there is a ko, we should never resign. Ko is always some type of hope, but it looks like quite a desperate ko for white. Black answers. Well, we shouldn't answer because the opponent has many such threats, and also every next threat is better for white, because if white threatens now and captures, white captures and we have only one liberty left. Or if we answer and then white plays another threat, we have 0 liberties left. And this matters a lot for the outside fight. So if we ignore it, we should ignore it immediately, because on the outside it would matter if we have 0 liberties, so we are captured, or we have 1 liberty or 2 liberties. If we have 2 liberties, we can even think of playing such a play and then, I don't know, somehow harass white's shape on the outside. So it matters a lot how many liberties we die with. In the game, black answers once, but then the next time we don't answer, and this is a good choice by black. In fact, white had an option to now simply sacrifice the 2 stones and at least to live with the group, and it wouldn't be stupid. Okay, our corner died, which is very big, but we lived, and we take center if black continues there, and probably black continues. So what do we do now? We attack the whole group here, and maybe we even kill it. Then the game might become suddenly good for white. So this was a good chance which white didn't spot. And I don't think that now black plays around here, because then we connect and the black, it stopped working, sorry. We connect and then black cannot capture our corner, so black needs to somehow fix the shape, also not easy, and our corner can simply live. So this was a very, very good chance for white to ignore this threat, but white didn't think of all the options he had. Instead, white connected, and then the next threat is already bigger. So white plays this threat. Okay, black ignored white's threat, then lived with the group. But if black lives with the group, black really should do it through making these good exchanges first, which we already talked about before. That. Black captures, white captures. So in the end, it's similar here and similar there. So, well, here it's a difference of a bit less than 20 points because black also played a move here, but the corner is dead, but there is still a ko for white's group. Still a bit unclear position, but white is very close to dying. In the game, white somehow managed to live, I think. Or not even. Yeah, white can live now, but white realizes that black gets already so much on the outside that white simply cannot do it because white will lose the game. Yeah, also now white could live, but still it means that white loses the game basically. Or maybe now white can play like this. Take control of the center, and then, well, we are basically dead, but still the group has quite a few liberties. We already gained something here, though we lost a big corner there, but the center is very, very valuable. So again, white has a way to somehow change the course of the game and maybe fight it differently, but white follows the simple path, which is visibly better for black, I think, because now black takes control over the center, and well, white sees that it's simply not enough if now white captures the stone and lets black live. So in the game, white tries to fight, but such a ko is desperate because black will for sure have super many local threats, all the threats for living with that group. So black plays all these local threats and then finally manages to capture white's group and black wins. Yeah, so yeah, the game went very, very bad for white basically. And probably the final mistake is around here, right? When white starts this fight, instead of playing a bit calmer reduction, after this it became very difficult for white, and then also this desperate ko maybe was not best, but I don't know, it also looks quite bad for white already now. So yeah, white was simply too satisfied after running with the ladder, and white didn't realize that the game quite quickly went into a wrong direction. So here was the key moment to choose the correct direction of play, then it would still be a long game. Yeah, so this is it about this game. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next season. Bye bye.